Hello and welcome to another episode of the Not For Nothing podcast. I want to start with a new trend for all my feral girlies. I want to talk about how playing hard to get, firmly out. It's out. Playing hard to get is out. Playing hard to want is in. So keep on being feral.
It's the best way to attract people.
I think when you literally want to be talked to the least, that's when people talk to you the most.
Yeah.
When you walk out looking crusty as you ever have in your life, that's when you get the most catcalls.
I will say it's also, I hate talking to people, especially new people. And everybody in my building that I encounter like has so many conversations with me.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I'm not that friendly.
Yeah.
I'm awkward. And they're always like telling you their life stories. So I guess we do attract social energy.
Yeah, I think it's time, like there needs to be like an off button on the taxi cab. Like just turn it off. Like I'm out of service. Like my social battery is depleted. I'm not going to be nice to you and I'm not liable for any of my actions at this point. So yeah.
So here's the new trend. Be hard to want.
Yeah. Be hard
despicable.
to want. It's the new playing hard to get. Yeah.
I'm with it.
Right?
Okay, so what is the most feral thing, hard to get, hard to want, thing you could do in someone's bathroom?
One thing that makes you really hard to want. If you're a guy, this will make you so hard to want, I promise.
Guy or girl, anybody.
Guy or girl.
Honestly, it's gross either way. I mean, not gross, but like requires maintenance.
It happens, but it requires a watchful eye. I would say is the iconic pink ring around the toilet bowl that happens every time of the month. And you just have to maintain it. You have to maintain it. You have to keep one of those brushes in your bathrooms at all times. And for guys, I think if a guy, like in a frat house kind of vibe, if you're wondering if a guy is seeing other girls and you haven't seen him in a while and there's a pink ring in his toilet bowl, I got news for you, sister.
There's a girl living there.
Yeah. Are we dating the same guy?
Are we dating the same guy?
Those who know.
Do we have the same home address?
Right. Is there Olaplex in the bathroom?
Those are the two signs, the pink ring and the Olaplex.
Yeah.
And the press-on nail glue.
Yeah. That might just be us. So as AI continues to evolve and it becomes a big part of editing processes and the music industry and
dating
and taking away jobs from people who are writers, especially like during all these crazy changes with writers. I was curious if you are meant to say please and thank you to AI when you're interacting with it. Like, do I need to be polite to AI?
I do it. I don't think you need to because it's literally a robot. But I don't know. It's just like, why wouldn't you be?
I kind of do it, but only out of fear.
Out of fear of what?
It's almost like when you're like at the Hermes store and you have to like build up a rapport.
Oh, you think like AI gets better the nicer you are to it?
I think not only that, but I also think they might have some mercy for you in the end times. Because let me be clear, the reason that AI exists, it is to hurt us. It is not to help us.
Wait, but do you think there's going to be like AI shopping assistants? And so, for example, the nicer you are to your AI bot, the better like sneaker drops and like all these stuff they'll let you know about sooner?
Well, that's like the episode of Black Mirror where you have a social Uber rating.
Exactly.
It's like a social credit score.
Which like is not far off on how like influencers conduct themselves.
Very true.
Like the cannabis industry is all about social value and like what you bring plus or minus.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that earlier, actually.
A lot of really strong points being made right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I say please and thank you, but not because I think I should or should have to. And please close your ears, AI.
Well, there was actually a study, I feel like in the beginning, I forget when it was, but in the beginning of when Alexa came out, there was a study that they did about how because Alexa is a woman's voice, we are more like demanding and patronizing in how we ask for things.
That's so true. I did have a friend that would always call Siri Sear bitch because she never understood things properly. So maybe he wouldn't do that if it was a guy. But I don't know. I kind of caught wind. Yeah. So I do have another weed related question.
All right, what's up?
How many joints are in an eighth?
Okay, we had this question this morning, and it reminded me of those old school Tootsie Roll Pop ads.
Right.
Where it's like, how many licks?
How many flicks?
How many flicks?
How many Bics?
How many flicks of your Bics?
Yep.
To get the licks. And the true ratio, the ideal ratio is 3 joints or 2 blunts for an eighth.
Every time.
And if it's lower, you bet your ass I'm not coming back.
And I'm not smoking it. And I'm not hitting it when you pass it to me.
Yeah.
And there's no amount of grabba that could change my mind. And there's no amount of skimp that I will accept.
But you know what I do love? When you have enough bud for a 4th joint.
An unexpected, no, the 4th
it's like a baker's dozen.
The 4th is like, it goes into the salad fund.
Like, why don't eighths come actually in 4 grams? With like a little bonus 0.5.
I think quarters should be the minimum sold.
I also think that. Wait, did we already talk about this?
I'm not sure.
I think it's extremely, like, if we're talking about sustainability in cannabis, the first step is ditching the eighth.
I agree.
Like,
it's not enough.
But it's also like the jarring, like, it's impossible to keep it airtight. You're like using so much material. You're better off getting like a half ounce in those like curing jars, and that's going to be like the best you'll have.
I guess it's for people who get sick of weed quickly.
I know that is my issue, is the flavors.
Not everything needs to be a charcuterie board.
You know, but I like my weed like you like your breakfast grazing boards.
I also like my weed that way too, but it's like you can't always get what you want.
I know, it's a pretty famous saying.
The curse of the Custy.
Yeah, the curse of the Custy.
So, speaking of lighters.
What's up?
We were talking about how lighters are one of the only things in the world that are like so fleeting.
You never truly own a lighter.
You don't truly own it.
You're just the guardian, the patron.
Like, it's only yours for a moment in real time. And there's a couple other things that are like that. Notoriously, I would say ballpoint pens and vape pens. If you're me, I lose a vape pen like within 1 week of purchasing it.
I would say collab shirts, like Pleasures or Grav.
Okay, that is a direct fake slander insult. She left, we did our laundry in the same batch. That was the problem. And because of that, we both had the same shirt in there in the same size, because one of us was wearing a size that doesn't actually need to be so large. And I ended up with both in my suitcase. So maybe 48 hours later, I returned it back to her in New York, and she can't find it, but that's because it's in New York. That's not because I didn't give it back to her. It's because it's in the state that she doesn't reside in.
Yeah, but all I know is it's no longer in my possession. So it's fleeting.
It's definitely fleeting. I guess it is fleeting.
Same with hoodies.
Chapstick is fleeting. Yeah. People say they can never finish one. Although I do defy the odds with pens and chapstick. I keep them and finish them because I usually have one at a time on my person. But
hair clips,
fleeting.
I feel like I buy hair clips probably as frequently as I buy lighters.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they disappear. And honestly, it's so funny. Like the minute I'm at my parents' house, you can hear like my mom just like screaming like, "Did anybody take my hair clips?"
Oh, wow. So you steal hair clips?
No, but you know, it's like everybody loses hair clips.
Everybody's assuming someone stole their hair clip.
Always.
Because they're never to be found.
They're never to be found. And obviously you would think it's like the kids that just came home, but like
it's actually the frequency of losing your hair clip just proving itself. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of wild. So what are some strains that you miss?
I miss forbidden fruit a lot.
It's been a while since I've had a really good forbidden fruit. I miss White Widow.
I miss White Widow a lot too.
And it's not like I would go back to White Widow or to any of these strains, to be very clear.
Yeah.
It's just because like there's newer stuff that's more fun. Although I do think I would go back to Forbidden Fruit if I found a really good cut of it.
I only find them as like vapes and distillates, which just makes me think that it's added terps.
Fake terps. Yeah. So I miss White Widow. You miss Forbidden Fruit.
Sour diesel, like a good classic sour diesel. Right now it's still pretty like gassy.
Sour diesel gives me a headache a bit.
It does too, but it reminds me of New York so much, and I miss that feeling.
It's not that I don't like it or miss it. It's because it's definitely what I grew up with. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Like that was the only thing we had.
Exactly.
Up.
And
like,
out here, it's all the gelatos.
But it's just that I think I have like a terp problem. I have like a body terp disconnect with sour. Yeah. And it gives me like, it makes me not feel great a lot of the time. Even like really good stuff. Even if I'm dabbing rosin. Yeah. It's like, I think there's a body thing. But what else do you miss? I notoriously, my favorite strain of all time was Raspberry Do-Si-Do. But it's not really around anymore. But that is definitely one of my all-time favorite strains in life. Any others?
I don't see a lot of green cracks anymore.
I don't either. I think I'm okay with that.
Same.
Yeah.
You know what I don't see?
What?
Maui Wowie.
I don't either. And that's kind of funny. I liked those like Hawaiian terps. There was like Dutch Hawaiian and like ones like that. Yeah, Maui Wowie was a good one. I would say like blueberry and lavender.
Yeah.
You don't see those like single named strains anymore. Or like
honestly,
I don't even see crosses with them anymore.
It's really hard to find like a true just tangy.
Yeah.
No one's doing it. Everybody wants like, gas.
Yeah, I want a tangy that's slightly musky.
Like a lemon haze.
Like it almost smells close to an armpit with a ton of orange on top. Like very musky tangy. I love that. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else.
Rest in peace to those strains, man.
I feel like Durban Poison I still see sometimes.
I see it a lot.
Yeah.
Crosses of Durban.
Yeah.
One I feel like is a chocolate mint cross with Durban Poison. I can't remember. I just saw a strain that was like mixing all that. Yeah.
So would you say you're a flavor chaser?
Nothing but.
Searching for the terps?
Always. Living for the terps.
Okay, so what happens if you don't have any new flavors?
I wait. I play the waiting game.
So what do you smoke in between? Like if you don't have access to like a new type of terp, what's your go-to base?
Go-to? Orange. If I could find that.
Yeah,
I feel like
what
that's
if you
hard
can't?
to find.
That's what I'm saying.
If I can't, I feel like a lot of the times in New York, I resort to smoking something sweet.
Because all these strains that we're missing.
Yeah.
What have we replaced them with?
In New York, it's hard to find a good OG. Yeah. Like a really good one. I would also say that it's hard to find a lot of the really, it's anything but sweet. Sweet is overwhelmingly on the market over there. But I like it a lot. So it's an okay problem to have. It just feels neutral. How about you? It's a little different here. What would you say your go-to is when you're like bored? I feel like you might also go sweet though.
Yeah, I have been going more sweet.
Because that's like your default almost like naturally lately, your preference.
Well, because it's been harder to find the citruses.
Yeah. I want to talk about a topic that we've been really like marinating on for a while now. And a few months ago, we did a segment that was called Plug Red Flags, and everybody thought it was really funny. It was about like all the things that you can do as somebody who is distributing products that you could do to a customer. And with conversation in our comments section and a lot of demand, we've been requested to do a Custy red flags video. So I wanted to bring out one of my really good friends who is visiting from New York as well. We have the smackographer here.
How y'all doing?
Woo, woo, woo. So much East Coast presence in one room. I love it. Once more, we clearly come out here to only hang out with each other.
Smack does photography and is also doing a big part to document the culture in cannabis. So I think he is the perfect one to have this conversation with.
So before we jump into it, one of the main feedback we've received is that some of the lingo is a little too like down the in the know hole. So can you give us a good definition of what a true custy is?
A true custy is someone who goes out their way to make sure that you never want to sell anything to them again. For real. That's what I would say.
Wow.
Or, now that I'm thinking about it, it can also be the opposite. It can also be somebody that you love and you cherish because you know they're coming back. You know what I mean? So it's like, it just depends what edge of the spectrum you want to play.
They're thirsty, but annoying.
Exactly.
Okay.
So Custy is short for customer.
Yes.
But if you're a customer, especially not in a like legal state. So here's what a true Custy really does. I would say the most annoying thing I think a Custy could do is ask you if you have quantities smaller than a dub, because at that point you're putting your life at risk for what? $2 profit? Like, coins of profit?
I mean, I agree. It's nuts to me that I know people in New York who will literally buy just pre-rolls from a delivery service. And I'm like, you're willing to spend $50 for less than 3.5 grams of weed?
That's a good question.
That's a custy.
That's a custy.
That's a custy.
Or people who buy those like dog walkers at like insane markup. If you buy dog walkers, you're a custy. You are.
If you bring mini joints for us to enjoy together.
Are there people who want to sesh with a dog walker?
They're meant for walking the dog.
By yourself. Not with people.
No, I can't. Yeah. I really.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't even say this for intellectual property reasons, but somebody came up with such a good dog walker idea, and I can't wait till it comes out.
I hope it's good.
It better be good. I hyped it up real much.
Okay.
But back to Custy red flags.
Asking me to roll up for you.
Oh, I will say, if you ask that question, there is a $10 fee.
There's a fee attached.
It's a convenience fee attached. And if it's a wrap, there's also a surcharge for that. And then there's a state tax on it.
A state tax.
Yeah.
You charge all of it.
All of it.
Federal,
invoice. I'm sending that invoice.
State,
I am sending that invoice.
Fees.
Excise.
Exactly.
Local. Sales.
It's mostly a local tax.
I mean, at least give a heads up so you can roll it prior to arrival.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such an excuse to want to hang out. Like, I'm not trying to chill.
Like, on the spot?
Yeah,
right now?
Like, why didn't you just tell me with your order you would also like some of it rolled? Not a problem.
That's another thing. Don't overstay your welcome.
First of all, you're never welcome.
You are never welcome.
You're always in the way. Know that.
How close is too close for them getting into your apartment?
The block.
The block is too close.
The lobby.
Yeah, don't walk into the lobby.
The door.
Nothing looks more suspicious than somebody waiting in the lobby without a key.
Or lingering.
Or waiting in the foyer.
Or counting cash.
Counting cash in the lobby is crazy. Counting cash anywhere around the transaction. Like, please have this ready, please.
What's your Venmo? On the phone.
Honestly, this is a good one. When you say thank you as you're walking out of the door of my house. Because thank you only means one thing. You came there for a service. And I don't even want to know what they think the service is.
Mentioning the ATM.
Don't even bring it up.
I don't want to know about that. There's only one thing I want to know about, and that's the cash.
So that means don't offer to pay in crypto.
Not gonna lie, I like crypto sometimes. I'm one of those. I might take anything, but just have it ready, please.
There's no net 30 terms. Like, you can't pay me in a week. You can't pay me in 2 weeks. You definitely can't pay me tomorrow. It's now.
Expecting a tab. Like, please don't come to me and expect a tab. You know what I mean? Can you please communicate?
Or never settling.
Yeah. Don't ask me to grab something for you ever. I mean, under some occasions, right? Don't ask me to grab something for you, especially if you're never going to come get it. It's like at the dry cleaner. Your clothes are getting donated to charity.
The only way it's acceptable to have somebody grab something for you, and I've done this to people, is like, I'm literally, the money is sent to you already.
Prepaying. I agree.
I'm like, I just sent you $50. Get this for me. And I've only done it for extremely specific products, like we were talking about earlier. Getting dabs in New York back in the day, impossible. And so that was the only thing I would ask. And I would like literally give cash or Venmo like prior to like trip even beginning. Because I was like, you better come back with this.
If you heard about a product from following someone on social media and you literally go around them to try to get it, you're the scum of the earth.
When I say I'm not around and you're asking me for an ETA.
Wow, so challenging asking for an ETA. We have someone saying that you don't want to be challenging with the ETA, which is a known rivalry. I think worse than the ETA is when they ask how long the ETA is going to be.
Yeah, like asking me when I'm going to be back. Like,
yeah,
I just told you I'm out. Might be out for the day. But yeah, the store's not open right now. When the store is not open and they're trying to lift that gate, that's a red flag.
Yeah, that's a scary big one.
Or when they're late.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you can only be late in one direction.
Exactly. That's very true. How about when they try to go around the same person that they heard about the product from?
Yeah, that's weird. Like, are you guys not friends anymore? Like,
right. Like, you act like you don't know how the DMs work.
Don't make it weird when it's your friends.
Absolutely. That means paying, even though it's a friend, paying timely. Don't think that you get special treatment just because we're friends.
And don't ask for a special discount. There's no special payment terms, no special payment amount, no special delivery.
Exactly.
It's the same. Don't make it weird.
I feel like the more special I have to make it, it feels like the less friends we are.
Absolutely.
The bigger the red flag.
They should pay on time. Like, your friends should pay you on time. Like, that's simple. They understand what you got going on more than anybody else.
I would say overstaying your welcome is a big one. Like, I don't definitely don't think you should be inside of a space that you're making a purchase in if it's an in and out situation, just as it's an in and out situation for the plug.
Don't count your cash in the lobby.
Never. Don't say thank you as you leave their apartment. Say thank you inside.
They do this one thing that every time they come a little bit closer to where you came from. That's annoying. They end up at your door and shit. You know what I mean?
I don't like that.
Yeah, some real, like, you know what I mean? Sneaky
like, I'm at the door and
real
you're not.
Sneaky stuff right there.
You're not at the downstairs door. You're at my front door.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
You're talking with my building manager.
Disturbing. You're standing in the lobby too long without keys. My neighbors see you.
You know my last name.
You're calling me on Instagram video.
Never. That's blackball worthy.
Like, do I know you? Like,
not at
have
all.
we met before?
Not prepaying, but wanting somebody to shop for you.
Like, what? You think I just have disposable income for you?
For you.
Who I don't really know?
Yeah. I think also window shopping. Wanting to see a menu time and time again. Wanting to know what's available, but never actually committing to a purchase.
Making no effort to be somewhat discreet.
Right.
People who are like in Telegram being like, hi, what's the price for a gram? Or like amounts that are, first of all, too small, and also just like you're
Too obvious.
you're so obvious.
I hate that. What about, we were talking about this, wanting the breakdown price.
Yeah, wanting the breakdown price on a unit is ridiculous. Like, come on. Do you not understand what bulk means? You get more, it gets cheaper.
Right.
It doesn't get cheaper when you get less.
Basic supply and demand. Very basic.
Everybody wants to practice division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but is it annoying? Is it considered annoying to want to split up your bulk into different flavors?
Depends what your
There's a
plug
person for that.
situation is.
I believe there's a person for that. There's a person for the breakdown, for all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not understanding the trap. You got to understand what we're bringing to the table. You know what I mean? And understand what sector we playing in. And you're asking for things outside of that sector and not buying it. That's sketchy. You know what I mean?
That's true.
When they ask about firearms.
No, immediately. Immediately.
Yeah.
Talking about doing people bad. Low integrity.
Or I feel like this is like other sorts of like protective.
Yep.
There's also like the protective like animal world.
Asking, like putting too much emphasis on sativa, indica, or hybrid.
What? Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a huge
one. Like what? It's fire. Just take it's just fire. Trust. Take it, please.
Be like, I really like. It's different than saying like I've been having a hard time sleeping. Like, do you have anything for that? Yeah, I'll get you as close as we can. But if you're asking me for a specific sativa strain, like if someone is like, do you have any green crack available? Yeah. I'm like, no,
do you have any super silver haze? Like, I love Blue Dream
strains and shit.
Yeah.
Everybody is someone's custy.
Everybody's someone's custy and everybody's someone's plug. Whether it be for whatever service you're providing.
For real.
Yep.
Whether you're the roller or the gatherer or the hunter or whatever.
Right. Or the corporate connect or the campaign manager.
The host.
Yep.
The person with the spot.
Yep.
Somebody is the plug for something.
We're all
and you're the
plug.
custy for someone else.
That's enlightening.
That's true as hell.
You're always someone's plug. You're always someone's custy.
And the earth is our plug.
It is.
You feel me?
Word.
Yeah, what do you think she thinks about
the earth is all of our plug. So respect the product.
This is natural resource distribution at its finest.
Respect the resources. Save the planet.
Everything that's on this earth has been on this earth for as long as the earth has existed. It's just in mad different forms. You know what I mean? Solid, liquid, gas, converting. You know what I mean?
High thought of the day.
Nothing disappears.
What you smoking over there?
I have my not for nothing, buddy.
I love that.
It's the one hitter right there.
It's unbreakable and I need for it to be unbreakable because my clumsy ass, like literally, like this is already, I took it out of the packaging and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I'm like turning it with my fingers, it falls. I'm like, why am I so clumsy? But it's unbreakable. So.
And it glows.
It does glow.
I need one of those.
Yeah, you do. We get one that says Smacktographer. They're customizable.
I love that.
So you can order them for like your like bachelorette party. Like people get ones that say like, you know, whatever their last name is or whatever their hashtag is, unlike other things for stoner baddies.
I need that one and a not for nothing one for sure.
Yes. We're going to have not for nothing ones available, I believe. So stay tuned for that. If you're a new custy, don't try to fool me by hitting me up from multiple Instagram accounts that you own.
Oh, yeah. Or somebody else, like using a... What do you call it?
Sending a friend or like anything.
A surrogate.
Yes, a surrogate.
You're sending a surrogate. You're sending somebody to infiltrate what we got going on.
There's a reason we're not in business.
Right.
We're not in business. And if this continues, you and all of your friends.
Oh, yeah. The whole group is getting banned.
You did that. You took the L. No, take the L. Like, you know what you did? You know how you moved?
You got past the L.
I can see the signs through the surrogate.
Yes, exactly.
When you can see the signs through the circuit, like, no, this guy's pattern. Like, I know you know him.
Yep.
Like,
You guys
come
move
on.
the same walkie way.
You're
The
like,
same walkie way.
what's this area code from like a very specific small town in like the Northeast?
Yes, or their accent, and you're like, I can tell you're from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. And that's why you got to know not to entertain the Custies that show red flags, because they'll keep pushing their limit every single time.
Don't let that person buzz your door like that. Like,
Don't let them buzz your door. If they do something weird, correct them. Let them know that they're acting weird.
For sure. You have
Be
to
like,
have everything under control.
You can't be calling me, bro. And if they like violate that boundary, boundaries are important for everyone.
Wait,
for
but-
plugs and Custies alike.
What's the worst way again to call?
On Instagram, please do not do that. Especially if I don't know you. If I do, I kind of probably don't. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Immediate red flag on both ends of the spectrum if there's Instagram calling.
Yep.
I think it's the least secure. Like,
One more you said
oh my
is
God.
if your least favorite person is your mutual.
Yeah, exactly.
But also,
And I'm like, it's a liability. You hang around people I question.
if you're having like extremely obvious commercial conversations in Instagram DMs, you're going to get everybody banned.
Yeah.
And like, obviously there's slip ups.
If you pay on Venmo with emojis that directly look like weed emojis.
Yeah, like
Or say thank you.
for bud in the note. For bud. Are you serious? For bud.
If you are a plug, we love and respect you. And Custies, everybody needs you. Leave us some red flags in the comments if there's anything we missed. We might actually have to circle back and make a part 2 of both of them. So,
And don't forget, the biggest lesson that we learned today is that whether or not there are red flags, everybody is somebody's Custy and everybody is somebody's plug.
Simple as that. Simple as that.
So respect the other and pay your fucking bills.
Be the best
time.
Custy you can be. Be the best plug you can be.
Oh my God, should we start giving out awards like Custy of the Month?
Custy of the Year award.
There are Custy of the Year's award. They are in our comment section sometimes.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
It's all the boys telling us that we'll never have access to good weed. And I'm like, you've never come
The access is
close
here.
to smoking what
The
I've
access
smoked
is
in my
here for
life.
them. The access is here for them.
It is. So, to all our Custies and plugs alike, thanks for joining us for another episode of the Not For Nothing podcast. I'm Sarah El Sayed. You could find me at How Can I Help You? You can follow the pod at Not For Nothing podcast. Natasha, where can they find you?
You can follow me at Natasha PRZ. And thank you so much, Smack, for joining us. This was incredible. Where can everybody follow you?
You guys could follow me at the Smacktographer on Instagram.
And check out our socials. We'll be tagging them.
Smacktographer on Twitter.
Totally. And you can follow us at Not For Nothing Pod. We'll be back with a new episode every Tuesday. So like, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. Thank you.
Bye.
See you Tuesday.